Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome back to another video. I was going to say podcast. That's what I'm talking about today. I'm going to talk about my podcast. So those of you who know me know I've been doing this channel for quite some time. I think I started in 2016. I didn't really start doing Porsche videos until August 2017. August 2017 was trying to be sensible. And that's where the Porsche journey started, and that was before I bought my 911. So an extension of this YouTube channel, and I guess some of you have said to me it's becoming more like watches, it's not so much Porsches. I guess this channel, it's both. I guess, simple terms, my love of watches, my love of Porsche, and my love of design as well, but not so much design on the channel, mainly because most people don't like watching the videos. I like shooting them. If I'm in London and there's art shows on or design shows and we go to a lot of exhibitions for research, I will shoot them, and occasionally I will upload that video to my channel, which I've done in the past, excuse the way I'm speaking today. I've got a tooth problem and there's no dentist open, so I'm actually struggling to talk without lisping. So that's why my mouth is a bit funny today, because I've got this tooth which has to be pulled out, unfortunately. So where did the podcast come from? So the podcast is not under Michael Barth, it's not under my name. Well, it kind of is. It kind of is, actually. It's called the PorscheCooled Podcast. PorscheCooled is one word. PorscheCooled came from a Instagram account that I set up about a year ago, actually. And I know you say, how many Instagram accounts do you need? I have 3 Instagram accounts at the moment. Michael Barth is basically just my personal stuff. You'll get some cars on there, you'll get some watches, and you'll get pictures of Natasha and I, and you'll get pictures of our travel. So I guess that's more of a personal type site. There will be pictures of the Porsche on there. P997.1, or P997 as I like to call it, was primarily just for the 997, to share with you guys images of the 997, drives in the 997, etc. I haven't been posting on P997 as much. Point 1, it's actually point 1 because P997 was gone, so I had to do not point 1, but we call it P997. But I haven't been posting on that as much, only because I'm, as you know, or most of you know, I'm not with my 911. My 911's back in storage in Australia. I'm in Bahrain, and I am Porscheless. I'm still Porscheless. And I'll get onto that at the end of the video, actually, about my new way of thinking, which I've been thinking about in an early podcast, which I'm going to get onto. I did actually talk about it. So, the other Instagram that I set up a year ago, so I also have PorscheCooled. PorscheCooled was basically celebrating my love of Porsche. PorscheCooled was about sharing images, following Porsche accounts, connecting with the Porsche community on Instagram, which I have a lot, actually. PorscheCooled has actually given me a lot more connections with people than than my P997 account or my personal account. PorscheCooled has been reasonably successful, so that's been great. Because of its success, and because of the fact that I haven't got my car, and it's harder for me to make videos on Porsche without the car. I know you guys like to see the car. You like to see the car. You don't want to just see me talking in front of a camera. I know I get very boring, so I can understand that. Of course, other channels on YouTube, you know, the most popular channel on YouTube obviously is a how-to channel. How to do this, how to fix this, how to install this, etc. How-to videos are great if you are set up in your permanent home and you're set up with your car and you can do those videos. And those videos obviously gain subscribers very quickly because people like to see how to do stuff. I'm not a how-to type guy. I never have been. I've always said to you that I'll always go to and get it done at a Porsche specialist. If I'm doing something with my 911, I won't do it with my own hands. I think I installed, what do I install? Basic things. The struts on my bonnet, on my frunk that were gone, I installed those. I installed my console lid, videos on that somewhere. I'll post it. What else have I installed? Oh, my center caps. I installed my center caps, the colored center caps. The valve covers, I installed those. All the simple things, not the complicated things that other channels are focusing on. So I thought, well, I could do videos where I sit here and I've got nothing to show, or I could do a podcast. And if I do a podcast, that opens up another avenue for me, another form of communication, another form of sharing, and another one which will bring different opportunities. I didn't really publicize the fact that I did this podcast, and I started it in December last year. Sorry, my mouth is very sore. I started it in December last year, and it has, let's call it a soft launch that I did on it. People have now heard about it. People are watching it. People have shared it. The pickup's been good, actually. You guys have been good. I guess all I need on that podcast is I need a few people to review it, and I need a few people to follow me, a few more people. But all in all, on a website called Chartable, it looks like it's performing quite well. It's not always about performance, so I actually quite enjoy just talking about the Porsche. I've only done about 9 of them. I will do more. I am in the process of trying to hook up collaborations for that podcast. There's going to be hopefully some really exciting people coming on that podcast. Like I said, it's in its early days, but I am talking to people now. Not necessarily super well known, but with very strong Instagram accounts, very strong Porsche following, and a very great sort of Porsche ethic. So I think that'll be exciting. So that's to come. At the moment, you'll just have to hear me talking. Some of you are enjoying it. You've been telling me you've been enjoying it, so that's great. It's not always about the 997. It's about Porsche in general. It follows the whole direction of PorscheCooled, I call it, not PorscheCooled. It follows that whole direction, and it's just about the love of Porsche. And it doesn't matter what variant it is. If it's a GT4, if it's a Boxster, if it's a 911, if it's a Cayman, it doesn't matter. If it's a Porsche, it's a Porsche. PorscheCooled is about everything Porsche. Water-cooled, air-cooled. Same as my Instagram, PorscheCooled, same as my podcast. So that's why I started the podcast, just to share my love of Porsches as I always do, and because it's an easier medium, because now, without the car, like I said, I'm doing these videos where I just talk, and you guys get to see no cars, and I know you get a bit bored with that. So that's where that's at. What else? Since we're talking about Porsche, I've been talking to a few people on Instagram, and I've been talking to a few people on YouTube, and I do have this crazy idea, and I know it's going to sound crazy because I'm in Bahrain and I'm not in Australia. I do have this crazy idea about getting a 996. Now, I know I'm not the first person that's bought a 996. I just watched Hoovy's Garage. You should watch that video, actually. He's got a cabriolet that he picked up at $7,000. I might try and link it if I can. I've been watching that. There's also a guy in Australia and down in Barrel, I think he is in Australia, built by Jeff. He's also bought a 996. He's very hands-on though. You know, he's super hands-on. He's not like me, so I've been getting Autohouse Hamilton to do stuff. I'll try and link his video as well. He's got a 996. I've started watching, which you guys watch too. What's his name? Total 911. James's mate. Lee Sibley. Lee Sibley, is it? Or Lee Sibbs? Lee Sibley. I started watching his videos on the 996. I actually only watched them last night. I only started watching them. I hadn't actually watched them before. But I do like the idea of 996. I listened to a podcast today where Magnus Walker was talking about his red one. I forget what podcast it was. The guy that did the podcast was terrible, by the way. Magnus Walker was very polite, as he always is, but the guy was, sorry, I shouldn't say it because just in case he sees this, but the guy was terrible. But Magnus Walker said about his 996, he bought a 996 Gen 1 Carrera with aero kit. He won it with aero kit. It's red. I think it might have tan interior, possibly. He was asked, what would he do with it? Is he going to change anything? He said, I'm not going to change anything. He said, some cars talk to me. Some cars tell me that I need to change it. I need to modify it. He said, I'm not doing anything. I might change the wheels. But he specifically wanted one, a Carrera with an aero kit. So I think that's the way to go. If you can't find one with an aero kit, I'm going to search one out. I'd like to get one. I know if my mate Steve's watching this, he's going to be going, what do you want to now? Every day I come up with a new idea, but this idea I'm pretty stuck on. Maybe a 98 to 2000 model. 2000 model, they got slightly more power than 996. Get an aero kit from a wrecker, fix the suspension, make sure it's mechanically sound, spend a little bit of money on it, but it'll be back in Australia. That's the thing. I'm thinking I'm not going to buy a car in Bahrain. I'm not going to buy a Porsche in Bahrain, only because there's uncertainty in the what's happening here. I don't know how much longer we're going to be here. I don't want to invest money in a 911 if we're not going to be here for the next 2 years, say. If it changes, I might change my mind on that, but at the moment I'm stuck on this one. So I thought, could I buy one sight unseen? Could I buy a 996 sight unseen through the internet, buy it? I don't know where I put it though, and if it's, I'm serious, in Australia, they're not as cheap. Magnus Walker said he got one for $5,000 US. He bought another 996, it was only 5,000, and it drives. I would get one for Australia, they're about 45,000 is cheapest. So my budget, I'd say, would be about 50K. If I get one for 50K and then somehow find somewhere to put it in Australia, and when I go back, deal with it. That's the plan. Or I could buy another watch. 50 grand for a watch, 50 grand for a 996. Watch is more reliable, I guess, but the 996 is probably more fun. And I have enough watches for now, really, let's be honest. So that's the plan. It's just I don't know. Maybe isolation's getting the better of me. Maybe I'm going a bit crazy. I don't know. It's getting very boring here in Bahrain. That's all I know. It's good to see people like James out driving and stuff like that. It makes me feel great, James. If you're watching, thank you for that. Like I get so depressed when I see your videos. Seriously, you're always out and about driving the car. There's no isolation in the US. What's going on? Anyway, that's about it. But if you haven't had a look at PorscheCooled, I'll put the link at the end here. It's on Spotify, it's on Apple Music, it's on Google Music, it's on, what else is it on? It's on, where's my phone? Hang on for a second. Yeah, so it's on all the major platforms, Spotify, Apple, Google, what's the other one? Stitcher, TuneIn, and a lot of other ones too. It appears everywhere. I put it on nearly everything, so it's up there. But anyway, that's PorscheCooled. Give it a follow if you haven't. Give it a listen. Tell me what podcast you'd like to hear, if there's something you'd like to hear. James at Auto Amateur keeps saying he'll do one with me, but you know, I'll wait and see on that one. He's a very busy man these days, pumping out, you know, I don't know, what, 6 videos a week it seems. So we'll see what happens. Sorry for my voice today. I can't talk properly. I'm falling apart, but I hope you enjoyed this video. I just wanted to touch base with you guys and have a chat. That's PorscheCooled. Give it a follow. If you'd like to give it a review, it'd be great. I haven't got one review, even though I've had quite a lot of views now. And you know, like I said, it's good to do here. It's easier to do when I don't have to film myself, and like I said, you guys don't get bored with seeing no Porsche. But we still talk about Porsche, and that's the main thing. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Bye for now.